Chi vuol bene a chi vuol bene a me, esatto ti amo proprio,
These are the news headlines for Wednesday, the 15th of April. The UK economy could contract by 35% and unemployment could soar to 2 million this spring, according to the government's independent economic forecasters.
So this is what I'm thinking. 2020 under lockdown, not 1348. You musicians are performing from home. We can use some of the films that you've already made. And instead of Boccaccio's 10 young people, we do it simple. The budget version. 2 actors, never seen together except like this on Zoom. They're lovers, separated, haven't been together that long.
You're going to write about us?
Well, no, it's not about us necessarily. It's more complex than that. Writers, you know, we're like magpies, a twig from here, a rag from there, from our own lives, from other people's lives. Yeah, I should probably come with a health warning.
Not something to say too loudly in a pandemic.
But Boccaccio does the same thing. In his introduction, he steps right into the novel to set the scene. He describes the plague and how it causes the 10 young people who tell the 100 stories that make up the Decameron to flee Florence.
100 stories will require a lot of music, not to mention an audience prepared to sit around for days.
But it's quality, not quantity. I've handpicked only a few stories. So Massetto, the gardener, who takes a job at the convent so he can service all the nuns. And I want to put in a couple of those darker fairy stories. So the king who murders his daughter's lover and serves up his heart in a golden chalice as a drink. And I want to shoehorn in 1 or 2 other timeless stories and myths. Not from the Decameron, but with a similar feel. So the artist who sells his soul to the devil for a lifetime of recognition and pleasure. Faust, Mephistopheles.
There are the stories where the Faustian figure is a musician, Paganini. With Paganini, it was part of the marketing hype. It was a ploy to sell more tickets. Nobody knew who he was. He was nobody, penniless. No one understood his genius. So you enter this enigmatic figure in a cloak. He's a 19th century impresario. Paganini signs the deal and becomes an overnight success. Women swoon at his feet. Hysteria rules. Audiences say they see the devil's shadow when he plays, complete with horns. But you know, excess pays its price. Too many women, drugs.
Yeah, a violinist who sells his soul for recognition, yes.
Or a playwright.
What, me? Handed everything on a plate in exchange for my soul. The chance would be a fine thing. It's definitely a violinist.
The violinist is more susceptible, but I'd sell out more easily.
It's not about you.
Isn't it? I thought the blurring of fact and fiction was getting decidedly thin. And actually, there's a fact I need to tell you. I won't be able to work quite as long on the Decameron. I mentioned working in a supermarket before. I think you thought I was joking, but, well, teaching is dwindling, and it's, to be honest, it's not much fun on Zoom anyway. I can claim some of that income support thing, but it's calculated on a period when I was living with Jeremy and I wasn't earning much. My rent is due. I really need the money now, so I applied for a job. And out of 100 applicants, I got one of the 3 jobs, sacking shelves. So I start on tomorrow.
Why didn't you tell me? I mean, you know that I could have lent you the money. It wouldn't have been a problem.
I really think I want that. I've just come from a relationship where I was financially dependent. I know it's different with you, but I'm not going to put myself in that position ever again. I'm going to pay my own way going forward. Do you understand?
Of course I do. I admire you for it.
Really? That makes me happy. But listen, this does not affect my commitment to the Decameron. I will just have to fit it in around. I have to work harder. I won't always be here, but whenever I am off shift, Decameron is my top priority, I promise. Talking of which, tomorrow I finish at 6 o'clock. We could get a good 3 hours in by my reckoning. was that?
Mother. She knows I'm online with Emilia. It didn't go so well the other day when I introduced them online. Now Mum started saying things like, you could do so much better, and musicians are so unreliable. God.
Aiuto, Giovanni.
Shouldn't you check she's okay?
Yeah, I suppose so. Just give me a minute. Mum, you okay?
Yes, vabbè.
What have you been doing?
I'm hungry, Giovanni. I want to eat.
No, I'm in a meeting online.
With that woman.
Yes, with Emilia.
I want to eat.
Yes, I will cook you some dinner soon, but I need to finish. No, I'm going back now, Mum. I'm going back.
Cazzi, Giovanni.
So, where were we?
Giovanni!
Well, Faust, but shouldn't you?
No. Don't worry about her. She's currently doing a good line in throwing off-stage books to get my attention. I can't let her win every time or it'll drive me crazy. So, Faust. A violinist who sells her soul to the devil. So we're going to need some wild fiddle music, musicians on fire. Any ideas?
Oh, yes. I think you mean something like... Just you wait. This.
Perfect.
It's a great piece. They do it brilliantly.
But
it's just not the same.
Not the same as what?
Performing live. Do you think, is it going to work? Filming actors and musicians separately? Doesn't the real magic happen when the two worlds collide live? The way each note we fashion is shaped by a unique chemistry, that exact combination of musicians performing at that exact moment in time and space. Then there's the audience, each of them feeling as they do right at that moment. It's true communication in real time. performing online is like, well, it is like performing in a vacuum. The whole premise of Zoom, that one person is primary at any one time, it's absolutely the antithesis of making music together.
And making love.
And making love. I didn't realise your mum was into punk.
No, neither did I. I better go and see what's going on before the neighbours think we're hosting a rave and call the police. Oh, I wrote to Venetia, nearly forgot, the commissioning editor. I'll have to call you later. Bye.
Giovanni.
Bye.
These are the news headlines for 10 a.m. on Tuesday, the 5th of May. Government scientist Neil Ferguson has resigned after breaking the very lockdown rules he advised on. Professor Ferguson is alleged to have met his married lover in secret over the past few weeks. He admitted to an error of judgment and said he regretted undermining the messages on social distancing.
Look, sorry, I don't know where Emilia's got to. She emailed me half an hour ago to say, see you on Zoom, and that's 5 past. There's no message. I don't really understand.
Yes, well, she isn't here, and my time's rather precious. I've read your synopsis. Boccaccio's Decameron reimagined in the coronavirus pandemic. Well, it's topical. Has potential. But Giovanni, to be honest, commissioning this climate is challenging. I mean, if it were up to me, but the board, they want audience figures to touch the sky, ratings written in fire, in blood. So when the pandemic ends, if we go back to normality, whatever that is, in terms of primetime TV, we'll be after the next Gentleman Jack Broadchurch line of duty.
Subtext. This is a waste of time.
Yes, we are doing, monologues, innovative short stuff, Alan Bennett, but for that, and I have to say it's been quite a turnabout, we can get whoever we want for whatever price we want. Celebrities queuing, begging. So I just don't see your Decameron project fitting either of those scenarios.
Told you. Waste of time. So predictable.
You see, your problem is who actually knows what the Decameron is these days? I'm only having this meeting with you because of that dinner party at Jack and Amanda's?
Alison's.
Alison. Yes, Jack and I, we go way back. So, you know what I'd do if I were you? I'd stick to the cutting-edge theatre. You're so good at it. The Decameron would be snapped up by the Royal Court, Hampstead Theatre or Alcola. Yeah, I realise these places aren't open for months, won't be open for many months. But what I'm trying to say is, and I'm going to be blunt, there's strength in knowing the boundaries of one's own creativity.
Yeah, but you must be running out of dramas in the can, right? I mean, there's no filming and no prospect of it yet. And even when the government says you can, who's going to take that risk? Will you get the insurance? I mean, the thing about this project is we can do this right now. The whole point of it is a creative response to the privations and limitations of lockdown. Monologues, self-filmed by actors in their homes with an innovative twist. No one else can give you that. No one. I mean, I know it's not prime time, but surely in this climate.
You know what? I envy you. No, seriously, I do. Your passion. How you aren't governed by spreadsheets and ratings. I'm sorry, Giovanni. I mean, there is one thing, one hope. If you seriously want to stand a chance.
What?
You're not going to like it.
Come on, what?
Ditch the music.
Yeah, but there are songs as well as stories in the Decameron.
Oh, no, nobody in the real world cares about authenticity, about what Boccaccio did. I mean, so if you have to have the music, make it singer-songwriter teenagers in self-isolation strumming away on their guitars. I mean, actually, that could work. But it's got to be rap, beat boxing, something contemporary. Right, so I'm thinking, those updated Shakespeare plays, God, what was it, 10, 12 years ago? Much Ado About Nothing, Damian Lewis as Benedict, and Billy Piper, Hero Weather Girl. If you take that sort of approach, my colleagues might sit up and take notice. I mean, you'll need the big names, but leave that with me. And I'll say something for the Decameron. It's got sex aplenty, so it's got that going for it. Always helps the rating, so make it good and steamy.
Hang on, you're saying I should pitch for it?
Well, on balance, why not? You'll need a better title than Decameron Reimagined. Love in the Lockdown? No, I have it. Passion in the Pandemic with an exclamation mark.
No, make it stop. Make it stop.
No, Passion Pandemic, also with an exclamation mark. Right, so I have to be clear, I can't promise anything at this stage. And another thing, you have to have that conversation with that girlfriend of yours who appears not to have turned up, by the way.
Listen, the music that Emilia is suggesting, okay...
I know you want to make it work, and it'll be super awkward with Emilia. But just to be 100% clear, I won't support a bid with medieval music in it. So you're just going to have to make a decision, business or pleasure.
Oh, I think Emilia, she's trying to connect.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I've been trying to log on since 10 o'clock. My computer insisted on a reboot, and then I kept trying to get in and I couldn't get into the meeting. Only now could I log on. I don't understand. It's never happened before.
How strange. We only saw you just now. But I'm so sorry, Emilia. Tempus fugit. I've got another meeting to run to, but so good to see you so briefly. And Giovanni, I'm sure you'll fill in Emilia what we discussed.
Yeah, sure.
Good to see you. I'll wait to hear from you.
Yeah, thank you. I'll be in touch.
I'm so sorry. It's just so strange. Did you have any problems logging on?
No problems.
I mean, I tried to text you, but I couldn't get any signal. Almost like something was trying to block me. Now look, I've got 4 bars. Oh, and it's okay now. But listen, she said she was going to wait to hear from you. What did she say?
Well, she said I should put in a bid.
Oh my gosh! Oh, Giovanni, that's amazing. Well, I'm so excited to be a part of it all. I've never done anything for telly before.
Except, well,
What?
No, nothing. We just need to tweak it a little bit to keep her happy. It's mostly about the way we present it. Oh, I meant to say, did you see the news? Professor Neil Ferguson sneaking his married lover into his house right in front of the eyes of the press. I mean, talk about one rule for them. Maybe we should work that in somehow. Our lovers, they break the rules. Must confess, it's pretty tempting to follow his example and race over and see you.
I long to hold you, to touch you.
I could be there in 50 minutes.
What about your mum?
She's stronger every day. I have to warn you, she could burst into the room at any moment.
Listen, I'd love you to come over, but I just, I don't think you should at the moment. Some of my supermarket colleagues are off with symptoms, and then there's your asthma. Listen, I've got that recording of the song I was suggesting to the opening. I'm just going to try and find the file to send you. And listen, I'm really sorry. I'm not in this one either. I just I'm so tired when I finish my shift. It's not just the hours, it's the stress of being out there. We have masks now, thank goodness. So I'm sort of invisible as a person, just a supermarket uniform. People treat me like I have the IQ of an ant. There, I've sent it. Have you got it? Have you noticed how people don't meet your eye anymore? It's like their nerves are stretched like elastic bands ready to snap. Anyway, it's not conducive to coming home and being creative. You just want to crawl into bed. And the days, they seem to stream by.
I know. And I'm sorry. It's awful. Okay. Let's have a go and look at how this opening might be. Why don't we start by playing one of your tracks, and then straight afterwards I'll tell you my sort of rough idea about the introduction. It's my take on Boccaccio's introduction, his real-life experience of the Black Death in Florence. But how authentic is he? He's a writer. Can we trust a writer to tell the truth, the whole truth?
I certainly hope so.
Music ends. Blackout. The writer's voice comes from out of the darkness. Lights up slowly at the writer at his desk. He's in front of his computer. He's the story master in charge of all the moves.
So, what does he say?
Well, I haven't written it out fully yet, but try this. Something like, we'd been so confident. We had everything under control. Yet this thing we couldn't see, it showed us just how much human ingenuity really counted. Then introduced the two lovers. Obviously, in 1348, Boccaccio's characters were all wealthy. It's set in a pleasure garden. But my characters are at the coalface. Karen. She's a cleaner at the local hospital. She's trapped in a high-rise. Think one of those iconic 60s buildings. The lift has broken down. There are abandoned mattresses in the stairwells. Her boyfriend, Joe, is unemployed, living on the other side of the city. So no, it's definitely not a pleasure garden. And Karen has to consume hours of mindless television box sets just to cope with the blackness she sees daily in the hospital. But Karen's TV is broken, and no one will venture onto the estate to fix it. Online, Joe's friends say that COVID doesn't really exist. It's all a conspiracy of the government to keep us down. And Karen's neighbour, the old guy with the crazed eyes and the whiff of urine that precedes him, he says it's God's punishment to take us down a peg or two. And I want to big up the idea of the intervention of the state. So the high-rise estate is designated high risk. They set up barricades. No one goes in. No one goes out, except for Karen. She's expendable. And who else will clean the hospital? Locked down and locked in. Of those who fall ill, few recover. One by one, their organs shut down, their lungs drowning. They're behind a screen. Left to die alone. And Boccaccio talks about the plague deniers, the party goers. So we could have others decide it's an enormous joke. So they host raves and drown out the bad news with endless rounds of parties, indulging and gratifying every craving. But the way things are going, maybe that isn't so crazy. So bring on the stories, the parties, the music. And that's the cue into the next music film. How am I doing?
Well, wow. Does the writer have to be sitting at his desk?
What?
Couldn't he be walking through the estate, telling us about the things around him as he sees them? So he bumps into the man with the whiff of urine and he passes the abandoned mattresses on the stairwell. I mean, it's telly, isn't it?
Yeah, it's telly. Where have you been all my life?
Oh God, well, I'm beginning to see how it all works and how that the music needs to fit dramatically within that. I was talking to the group. They are so excited about it. They're producing lots of films. There's one particular film which is called Lamento di Tristano. It ends in this just vibrant dance. Oh gosh, how do we pitch this to Venetia? Do we just fill in a form or do we do it together? How?
I'll deal with that. I've had to pitch a couple of times before, mostly unsuccessfully. If we need any help with that, Venetia can point us in the right direction. I just want you to concentrate on the music, okay? Good. Well, let's look at that next film.
are the news headlines for 6 p.m. on Wednesday, the 13th of May. At this afternoon's press briefing, Robert Jenrick, the Housing, Communities and Local Government Secretary, announced the first phase in easing lockdown restrictions. You can now spend time outdoors and exercise as often as you like. And more than 7 weeks after lockdown restrictions began,
Emilia, pick up.
you can meet one person outside of your household in an outdoor public place, provided you stay 2 metres apart.
Venetia.
Giovanni, is this a good moment?
Yeah.
I have read the pitch. Well done. I think we're getting there. I love the idea of the modern day Boccaccio moving around the estate. And interesting idea about the music. So we get established musicians to work with aspiring young guitarists, singer-songwriters, and film them contributing from their bedrooms. I had a thought about this. There's this brilliant young singer-songwriter who's been on our radar for a while, but we don't quite know what to do with her. Well, I suggested she write something edgy about the virus, and she's come up with this gorgeous love song, Clever Girl. I will forward you the film she made.
Well, I really think that Emilia and her group... I mean, they know
come
the
on,
project
Giovanni.
better.
There's absolutely no way this picture's going anywhere with medieval music in it. Okay, otherwise, there's so much great stuff here. But do you think Emilia would want you to give up on this chance? Would you want her to if the tables were turned?
No, I mean, of course not. No.
Well, then, take a look at the video I sent you. I think you'll love Chantelle's take on it all. And I'll make it easy for you. I'll rewrite the section about the music. But you actually haven't mentioned Emilia after all, so just leave it with me. I know it will get through. And with today's announcement, slowly, we're coming out of lockdown, so this is the only chance you'll get, and you're so close, yes?
I'm really not sure.
Giovanni, please don't disappoint me. This is the only way your work will ever get anywhere near TV, and surely you want this, yes?
Okay, yes.
Good. I'll hone it and send it over in the next hour.
Okay.
But there's one thing I can't do. I can't break the news to Emilia. That one's up to you. Good luck.
Okay, thanks. Yeah. Bye. Shit.
Why'd we have to find the ace of hearts in this and not the next round? Why'd we have to cage a growing bird? We haven't flown yet. We haven't flown yet. Anywhere you go, anywhere you go, my hand is yours to hold. I'm waiting anywhere we know.
Emilia.
Giovanni, can you call me in 5 minutes? I'm nearly home.
I know. I can see you.
What do you mean you can see me? What do you mean?
Turn around.
What? What? You're crazy. Why have you driven driven 10 miles across London just so we can touch hands through glass. You know, we can't.
Haven't you seen the news?
No, I've been at the supermarket.
The briefing today. They've relaxed the lockdown. We can meet. Outside only, of course, but we can go for a walk. I can see you.
Really?
Well, we have to keep 2 meters apart, obviously. I don't know how that's going to work, really. Especially now that I can see you, almost touch you, even if it is through a pane of glass. Well, what do they expect? Lovers separated for weeks, and now, yes, you can go for a walk, but you can't touch each other. I mean, what kind of sadist dreamt that up?
I don't know. I don't think I can wait all this time and then have to keep 2 meters apart. Every night I've been watching the briefing, waiting to find out when I can see you, when I can hold you, and just nothing. And nobody talks about it. It's like we're Victorians and nobody ever has sex, or not, outside their own households. Don't.
Smile.
Please don't. The neighbours.
So the neighbours. What is it, like the Stasi? What? What are you going to do? Eh? You going to call the police? Have me arrested? Just for trying to kiss my girlfriend? Come on, Emilia. You're not going to let this inept government and the local Stasi call the shots, are you?
That's not fair. It's not about the government. It's not about the Stasi. I want to run into your arms right now. Don't you think I want to? But it's not just about me. What about your asthma? I've been working in Sainsbury's. I could be asymptomatic. I would never forgive myself.
I'm willing to take the risk.
Well, I'm not. This is too difficult. I'm going to go home. Just keep talking, okay?
Emilia, couldn't we just go for a walk? All right, I promise I'll keep 2 meters away. I'll be a good boy. I'll even take a tape measure.
I've just come off a 10-hour shift, Giovanni. I'm filthy. I'm covered in... I need a shower and I need some sleep so I can think, not just do the selfish thing I want to do. Do you understand that?
I drove all this way over to see you. I mean, I thought that you'd want... And there's something I need to tell you about the project.
Wait till Friday. I've got the day off.
No, it can't. Yeah, I suppose it can, yeah.
Listen, we can go for a walk. It could be like a chaste first date. Maybe. Just not now, okay? I'm sorry.
You know, seeing you every day on the phone like this, it makes me feel closer to you. Without the sex to cloud one's judgment. Yeah.
I know. Friday. It's less than 48 hours.
Friday. Sleep well.
I will. Bye.
Well, that didn't quite go the way I'd planned it.
Lucente stella che mio cor desfai con nuovo guardo che muove d'amore. aspettare quel che per ti muore. Io a ti deutsche prometon salute. Chi se specchia nel loto bel viso. I bei occhi tuoi ladri e vago riso fura mia vita per la loro virtute. Mercé mostrando delle mie ferute, ma poi pur provo che lo tuo valore cum crudete struzze lo mio core. Lucente stella che il mio cor desfai con nuovo guardo che muove d'amore. Azzi pietare quel che per ti muore.
Perhaps I shouldn't have cancelled the walk. Perhaps you can't forgive me. Should I telephone him? No. Just have to give him some time.
Well, here I am.
I am sorry about changing tack, and I just can't imagine us going for a walk and keeping 2 meters apart. It's just not going to happen. Even trying, it would be torture. It's not that I don't want to see you, it's that I want to see you too much. You do know that. These past few months, it's been exhausting, but also so wonderful to be with somebody who wants me to be fully a part of his life. And the project, I can't tell you what that means to me.
Emilia, I need to say something. I should have said it the other week on Zoom, and I should have persisted when I saw you on Wednesday.
What?
It's Venetia.
Venetia?
Yeah. She's really not bought on the idea of medieval music.
What do you mean?
Well, she said she insisted, actually, that I pitch it without music, or rather with music, but teenager singer-songwriters strumming away on their guitars in their bedrooms.
What? But you seem to think she liked the idea.
No, she never. I mean, I thought I could find a way around it. Maybe negotiate something. You could take some workshops with these teenagers, and maybe we could shoehorn in the medieval music.
Shoehorn in some medieval music on the sly, like it's dirty, like nobody would notice. Wait, so you've pitched it without me?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So when you said the music will be integral to the piece, that was just some chat-up line to get me into bed, was it?
No, of course not. I wanted you to be a part of it. I still want you to be a part of it.
Great. But all the same, you went and pitched it with Venetia without me. You didn't actually think to ask me about whether I would want to work with teenage singer-songwriters, that I might not want to be shoehorned in on the side. Why didn't you tell me? I would have been disappointed, of course, but I wouldn't have been strung along like a prize idiot. I wouldn't have wasted my time on something I was never going to be a part of.
I didn't want to give up on it, all right? Venetia, she wore me down.
Oh, you poor thing. She wore you down.
Yeah, and she also said, I think there's some truth in this. She said, if it were the other way around, then I wouldn't hold you back if you had a huge opportunity and me being involved stood in the way that you might.
How very empathetic of her. She seems to know exactly what I think and feel. Sure, I would have been disappointed, even angry, but annoyingly, the wonderfully in-tune Venetia Lemming-Brown is right. Good old Emilia would never stand in the way of one of your career opportunities. The point is, you didn't tell me. You hid it from me. You do get that, right?
Yes, I get that. But I did it to protect you. You always said how thrilled you were to be working with me, to be taken seriously, especially after your dad.
I don't know where we go from here. In fact, I don't think there is anywhere to go.
Don't say that.
I should have known. Mainstream TV and medieval music, not a match made in heaven on all counts.
Listen, I know that I don't deserve a second chance, but I can give up on the project.
It's not about the project. Well, it is, but first and foremost, it is about trust. Whether I can trust what we had, what we can have after this. You lied. You hid things from me. So what else might you hide? What else might you lie about? I can't say any more right now. It isn't fair to expect me to. You need to give me some time. I'm going to go now.
No, wait. Come on, we need to talk about this. An email. Emilia. This is the next video. Might be somewhat prescient. Adieu. Adieu. Adieu.
Adieu,
These are the news headlines for Saturday, the 23rd of May. The Prime Minister is facing renewed pressure to sack his aide, Dominic Cummings. The PM told the press that Mr Cummings had his full support, despite the fact that it has emerged Mr Cummings had travelled 260 miles to the northeast to self-isolate with his family. Mr Johnson said he would not throw Mr Cummings to the dogs.
It's really a testament to your idea. I mean, normally you'd be waiting 3-4 months. But I put in a word and the panel got that we could make this now and how topical it is. Did you get the contract safely?
Well, yeah, actually, I wanted to talk to you about that. There are just a couple of things. I'm not particularly comfortable with the rewrite list.
Oh, yeah. It's a different world from theatre, I'm afraid, Giovanni. I'm sure once you meet John and Tanya, trust us on this. Just send in your invoice and sit back. You're a commissioned TV writer now.
But
I must dash, but I hope you have something sparkly chilling in the fridge. Congratulations. Speak soon.
Why do I let her do it? Something about that cut glass voice. I should have had a handy retort. I'm a bloody writer, for God's sake. I mean, I should have had the words. That is what I do. But no, that gets you beaten up. Being silent gets you beaten up, though, as well. And your soul pummeled. Just for good measure. For just a moment, with Emilia, I was a revolutionary. I could take on anyone. Now is time to rock the boat. We have a chance. This is our moment. We can throw everything up in the air. Yes. Oh, shit. But I haven't signed the contract yet. Electronically or in blood, I'm still the writer. I can still control what happens on the page. I can say no to their murdering rewrites, to their stupid celebrities. I can say no to their transformation of my work into something foursquare, where the primary concern is filling as many one-hour slots as possible. And if I still control what happens on the page, then I can do it in my life too. A rewrite. I can do that. I can apply for the money myself. We'll do the Decameron the way we talked about. We'll raise the money with Emilia, if she'll have me. Here, Emilia. I've made a decision, a rather snapped decision, right now. I'm saying no to Venetia. And somehow I'm going to raise the money to do the Decameron just as we planned. Will you still have me? The decision is forming, gathering pace as I write. It's an important decision. One I can be proud of because it's brave, true to myself. Feels good to write that. And it feels good to write that to you. All I'm asking is 5-10 minutes to say how sorry I am and see if we can save this, because I miss you. I could spend hours editing this, but I'm going to send it now, raw as it is, and wait, ... all evening if needs be. I love you, no. Raw as it is, and wait, all evening if needs be. Giovanni. Don't read it over. Don't hesitate, just send.
It's a sweet email that he's going to be waiting on Zoom for quite some time. It was never my project. It was his, which is fine. And it's good for the group. I'm going to accept his offer for them. But I'm not going to be in it myself. Part of me kind of knew it wasn't meant to be. Yes, I was tired every night after the supermarket shift, but doesn't it speak volumes that I never recorded anything myself? I held back because something in me knew I couldn't trust it. That's sad, but it's not the end of the world. I've learnt loads about developing projects and thinking about the music in a completely different way. But most of all, I've learnt not to accept second best. Giovanni was a step towards the relationship I want. He didn't dominate everything. And we had moments of such joy. But he wasn't brave. It's something that he sees that now, but I can't. It's too late. I want someone who is brave, straight out, someone who wouldn't hesitate. And I deserve that. To be able to say that out loud is a small victory in itself. I have an idea for a project, all my own. I'm excited about it. I'm not going to tell you anything about it just yet. This time I'll do the choosing. There's a quote above my desk to live my life by. I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become.